In this course, we will be looking at the main aspects of mammalian cellular metabolism. Specifically, we will look at cellular bioenergetics, central metabolism, which we will deep dive into glycolysis, the tricarboxylic acid cycle, and the electron transport chain. So in the first few minutes of this course, let's look at bioenergetics. Bioenergetics meaning the use of metabolism to produce energy. Okay? And we say cellular because it's inside the cell. Hence it's called cellular bioenergetics. Now, metabolism is generally described as the collection of biochemical processes in a living organism that either produce or consume energy. For example, the carbohydrates or glucose from the bloodstream, which could be from the food we digested, enters the cell where it will be metabolized. So now let's look at what happens to the nutrients that are entering the cell from the bloodstream. So the core metabolism can be divided into two sections. The first, anabolism, is where carbohydrates or nutrients like glucose that are consumed or digested are converted into macromolecules such as glycogen for storage or converted into protein for the purposes of cell growth. When I say macromolecules, I mean large molecules. Okay. And at a later stage, these macromolecules can be used for catabolism, meaning the breakdown. And this is the second part of the core metabolism. Metabolism, when nutrients can be broken down and get converted into intermediate. For example, lactate, as it happens in glycolysis, and this will be further discussed later on in this course. So lactate or other intermediates can serve as a starting point for the reaction. It can facilitate the reaction, or it can also be an end product of a reaction. When we mention anabolism, we are talking about creating something for the cell which requires energy. So we have to add energy in this reaction to create something, to build something up. And when we mention catabolism, we are talking about breaking something down, okay, which will release energy. So catabolic pathways are those that degrade organic molecules and release energy. The catabolic pathways will be the focus of this course. Now, one of the main aims or major aims of the catabolic pathway is to generate energy. Energy is mainly generated in the form of ATP, stands for adenosine triphosphate. ATP is an energy transfer molecule, meaning once it's generated, thereafter, when we need energy for a reaction or a cellular process, we can rely on ATP to provide the energy or transfer the energy back into this reaction we're requiring it for. Hence, it's called an energy transfer molecule because it can transfer energy. Now, if you look at the structure of ATP, this underlined part is the adenosine, which is a nucleoside commonly found in nature. Now, if you look at this part that is underlined, is triphosphate. Tri meaning three, phosphate is organic phosphate, meaning three phosphates. And when these two sections are combined together, they are called adenosine triphosphate. You probably hear of ATP when we speak about metabolic reactions involved in respiration or glycolysis. And this is what we will be discussing in this course. What you see here on the screen now is a map of different metabolic pathways involved in the cell. The idea behind showing you this picture is to demonstrate the complexity of the cellular metabolism. Now, the metabolic pathway that we are going to discuss in more detail is the central metabolism, which is comprised of glycolysis, oxidative phosphorylation, and so on.